Well, state law says you need a driver's license and insurance to get behind the wheel. If you don't and you're caught, it could end up costing you hundreds of dollars. Well, Carla, the defense rested just about 15 minutes ago. Today, the jury heard more about what serving life in prison would look like. In December for Bryan College Station, the median home price was listed at just under $200,000. This $55,000 is not the total cost for a Habitat home, but it is what sponsorships start at. The antenna on top sends back information every 15 minutes to an hour, and the city reminds customers to be careful when removing the cover because it's attached to the meter inside. We've had a really fun and full day, and there have been hundreds of people that have helped us make this happen. There's been kids from elementary school age to high school age, kids from Madisonville, North Solch, Normandy, and Iola that have been out to help us sort all the food out so far. Later this spring, they'll be on temporary display at the Cushing Memorial Library. Reporting in Austin, Clay Falls, News 3. Kathleen, the jury had to look at two factors for giving the death penalty. Was he a continuing threat, or were there any mitigating factors against the death penalty? Ultimately, they decided Hudson was a threat and sentenced him to death.
Mr. Hudson, I sentence you to death as administered under the laws of the state of Texas.
With those words, a 2-week-long capital murder trial ends. William Hudson was painted as a monster by prosecutors. The victims included nearly 77-year-old Carl Johnson. He was beaten and shot in his Airstream camper where his daughter Hannah was also beaten to death. Hudson was also charged with killing Hannah's longtime boyfriend Tom Camp, his 2 sons Nathan and Austin, and Hannah's 6-year-old son Cade. Victims' family members like Todd Camp are relieved by the outcome.
My brother Tom was a hard worker. You know, he was a self-made person. He loved his family. Nathan and Austin were really cool kids. Hannah, very fit, nice lady. You know, she loved Cade to death. Tom and Hannah got together, and Tom treated Cade just like his own son. Carl was a character. I mean, he was always the life of the party.
The day also marked the 2-year anniversary of when Carl and Hannah Johnson's bodies were discovered and Hudson was taken into custody.
For the jury to come down today and to sentence William Hudson to death is just the justice that is so deserved in this case.
The defense called witnesses about Hudson's struggles with mental health, including abuse by his father, head injuries from car accidents, seizures, and his struggles with alcohol and substance abuse. The prosecutors said it wasn't an excuse.
This defendant is sort of in a category all by himself as far as the number of people, the complete lack of repentance. He's frightening.
They were just all family people. We were all very close.
Hudson gets an automatic appeal. The jury consisted of 9 women, 3 men, and 2 alternates that were also men. Live in studio, Clay Falls, News 3. Heavy winds and way too much rain will be how many residents in Burleson County remember the remnants of Hurricane Harvey. Don Beavers has lived in Snook nearly 10 years.
Let's all pray that this ends soon.
He's had a wet weekend. Harvey brought more than 28 inches of rain to his property.
I've never seen it this flooded. The only thing that's a little bit of a saving grace, since it comes in waves, the gaps in between have allowed at least a little runoff.
With so many low-lying areas and so much water to drain, residents here in Snook think the flooding could last several weeks. Multiple roads are closed across the county as sheriff's deputies patrol the area. The county is in a state of emergency as long as the rain remains.
If everybody could just stay home, and as long as they don't need to get out, if they could just stay to the house, unless it's just super important, they just need to stay home. So we don't want to be having to pull anybody out of the water.
Just everybody be safe, drive safe, don't do nothing crazy, just be safe.
In Burleson County, Clay Falls, News 3.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, girls!
Marissa Escalante received a warm reception from her friends in the Weiss-Baker Engineering Building at Texas A&M. It's a place where she normally works.
This is y'all's Merry Christmas from us. We love you.
The 34-year-old mother is battling breast cancer and hasn't been able to work. Marissa and her daughters were given a Christmas they won't forget.
We're so excited, so happy for all this. We didn't expect, receiving all these gifts.
We raised over $3,000 for you.
Wow.
You sure you want to open it?
Jeannie Prestwood is an administrative associate in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. She says Marissa has been missed.
A lot of people may not think the custodians are very important, but we value them differently.
I really love my job. I think it was a blessing from God, and I love you very much, and thank you so much.
At Texas A&M, Clay Falls, News 3. The framing is going up as volunteers, young and old, turn a foundation into a home on East MLK Jr. Street in Bryan. For Laverne Walton of Bremond, these beams will soon be the walls of the first place she's owned.
It's been a dream in my heart ever since I can remember. Be my own home owner, but through circumstances beyond my control. It's no way in the natural I can own my home.
Last month, Bryan and College Station's school superintendents announced the lack of affordable housing in both cities is impacting students and their families. In December for Bryan College Station, the median home price was listed at just under $200,000. This $55,000 is not the total cost for a Habitat home, but it is what sponsorships start at. That doesn't include things, though, like land, insurance, and the cost for paying staff. Karen Smith with Smith Dairy Queens and others sponsored this newest house.
I believe that everything that we have comes from God, and if you believe that, then we are to share what we have with others.
It really means a lot for us to be able, go out, spend our time to really help a family who needs a home, and for us to be able to fundraise to help them get that home.
Having a family move into a stable environment improves their health. We have a Energy Star rated house, so they're very energy efficient. And when you're not worrying about when you're going to be able to pay your next energy bill, if you're going to have food on the table.
Laverne Walton's daughter Nikki Anderson also lives in a Habitat for Humanity home.
I had that
Feeling of having your own home. I think everybody deserves to have their own home. That's one place to call theirs.
In Bryan, Clay Falls, News 3.
Wasn't how we planned it. I was supposed to have a cesarean.
Two special bundles sleep in the kitchen of Nazarene Stump's home near Brenham. Last Tuesday morning, her water broke early.
I came downstairs dressed and ready for my husband to pick me up in the ambulance to hopefully go have the babies at the hospital. And instead, I wasn't feeling well, so I went into the half bath down here. And had the baby right here.
Well, every medic's worst nightmare is to get a call to their own home.
Greg Stump was on duty as a paramedic the morning of the call. He raced in the ambulance to their home as his wife struggled in labor. He gave her medical instructions over the phone.
It was raining really, really hard. Fog was very, very thick. It took us longer to get here than I would have liked, but in all honesty, it was as fast as it could possibly have happened. And right as we were turning onto our road, we were about 2 miles away, we got the news that first baby had already come out.
The first girl, Freya, was born in the half bathroom. Aurora was born at the hospital in Brenham. The Stump's 7-year-old daughter, Mina, served as a midwife and got the baby's parents, who were staying on their property.
My wife and I have been wanting to be parents for years. Really a blessing, and it's really, words can't necessarily describe just how incredible of a gift it really is for us to become parents.
Just a huge shout out to, not just the Washington County EMS crew and not just my best friend / sister / brother. I mean, it's hard to describe what these folks mean to me, but just in general, just emergency crew and just what they do, and they saved our baby.
In Washington County, Clay Falls, News 3.